It is an icon of the wilderness, a symbol of untamed spirit and primal power. The gray wolf. For millennia, humanity has been captivated by its image, drawn to the idea of bridging the chasm between our world and theirs. Fantasy persists, to tame the untamable, to turn this apex predator into a companion. But this romantic notion is built on a fundamental misunderstanding of biology and evolution.
The truth is hidden deep within the very structure of the brain, a chasm separating wild from tame.
To understand why you can never tame a wolf, you must first understand its descendant and the 30,000-year journey that separated them.
The story begins not with conquest, but with cooperation, a genetic divergence.
The population of wolves, bolder and more tolerant of humans, began to carve a new evolutionary path. For thousands of generations, humans selected for traits they found most useful: compliance and friendliness.
This process effectively locked the domestic dog in a perpetual state of juvenile dependency, forever reliant on us.
Nature, meanwhile, continued to select for the wolf's traits: supreme intelligence, profound suspicion, and lethal efficiency.
The results are two animals that, while genetically similar, are neurologically worlds apart.
The divergence begins almost immediately after birth, in a crucial, unrepeatable window of time.
The critical socialization period for a domestic dog puppy is broad, lasting from approximately 3 weeks to 16 weeks.
In this time, they learn to accept new sights, sounds, and beings, especially humans, as non-threatening. For a wolf pup, that window is brutally short. It opens at 2 weeks and slams shut at just 4. Anything not experienced as safe within that sliver of time is forever coded as a potential threat. This is neophobia, an intense, hardwired fear of novelty. In the wild, it is a critical survival tool. In a dog, that instinct has been bred out, replaced by curiosity and a reliance on human guidance. Neurologically, a wolf's brain is primed for a flight or fight response. Its amygdala is highly sensitive, constantly scanning for danger. The dog's brain is wired for social connection. It seeks reward and reassurance from its human pack. You cannot train this out of a wolf. It is the very architecture of its mind. The dog outsources its risk assessment. The wolf trusts only itself. This neurological difference extends beyond fear. It dictates how they think, how they problem solve. The wolf is a cooperative hunter, a master of strategy and complex social dynamics within its own species. Confronted with a problem it cannot immediately solve, a dog will solicit human help. This is a cornerstone of its domestication.
Its brain is wired to see humans as the key to a solution.
The wolf will persist. It will study the problem from all angles, testing it with its paws, its teeth. It relies on its own cognitive abilities, its own relentless persistence.
Human intervention is not part of its problem-solving matrix. It is irrelevant. Or worse, a threat. In the wild, this self-reliant intelligence is what allows the pack to succeed. It is an instinct refined over 100,000 years of survival.
And it is this same independent, predatory instinct that makes the wolf so profoundly dangerous in a human environment.
Many believe a wolf raised from a pup can be different. That love and care can rewrite its genetics.
This is a dangerous fallacy. Domestication is not a single event. It is a deep, genetic remodeling of the nervous system.
Genes controlling stress hormones like cortisol have been fundamentally altered in dogs. In wolves, those governing the startle response remain at peak predator-level sensitivity.
An unpredictable environment, a home, is a constant source of neurological stress for an animal built for the wilderness. This chronic stress can lead to fear, and in a wolf, fear is a direct pathway to aggression.
A wolf's social rules are rigid and enforced with violence. It does not understand human social cues.
A gesture of affection from a human can be interpreted as a challenge. A direct stare, a sign of dominance. The triggers are subtle, and the reaction is instantaneous.
The consequences are often tragic and irreversible.
The bite force of a gray wolf can exceed 1,200 pounds per square inch. It is more than double that of a German Shepherd. A tool of survival, not a tool of play.
When the wild instinct, hardwired in the brain for millennia, takes over, there is no calling it back.
The wolf belongs here. Mind, its body, its very spirit are forged by this landscape.
The dog belongs with us, a marvel of co-evolution, a companion we shaped in our own image.
To try and force one into the life of the other is not an act of love. It is an act of profound ignorance.
It disrespects the forces of evolution that created two distinct, magnificent creatures. Its voice echoes across the landscape, a sound that defined the very essence of wildness.
A call that speaks of the pack, of the hunt, of a world that has no place for us. The story of a tamed wolf rarely ends well. It ends in tragedy for the Latin American humans and a German Shepherd. And it ends in tragedy for the animal, which can never truly go home again. Our planet is filled with creatures of immense power and complex intelligence. They operate on neurological blueprints far removed from our own.
We admire their power, their power, their beauty, their freedom.
And in our admiration, we often make the arrogant assumption that we can possess it. Humanity, the ultimate apex predator, has a unique ability to understand the very code of life.
We have the knowledge. We understand the boundary.
Yet, the desire to control, to dominate, to own what is wild, persists.
It reveals a critical flaw in our own thinking. A failure to accept that some things are not meant for us. That true respect is not found in possession. We have built our world by taming nature. We domesticated animals, plants, even rivers. But the wolf represents a limit, a biological and neurological wall. It is a living reminder that our power has boundaries. Line drawn not by fences, but by the immutable laws of evolution, written in the language of neurons and genes. To
To ignore this boundary is not just to endanger ourselves.
It is to disrespect the very definition of wild.
Some boundaries are there for a reason, protecting a wildness that should remain forever beyond our grasp.